All right, what's going on, guys? We're doing something a little different today. Went out musky fishing, and I figured for musky fishing, instead of recording myself casting and casting and casting over again, and you get to watch a boring video of me casting and sometimes failing to cast, because let's be honest, I'm a Euro nympher for trout, and my casting skills are sometimes subpar, and I sometimes mess up. I actually mess up quite a lot. But so I figured I'd do a little vlog series and just kind of talk about my fishing experience for muskie. As I kind of my road to my first muskie, I guess you could say. If you haven't seen the first video, I actually was fortunate enough to have a muskie take. I missed the set, a rookie mistake. I kind of froze in place, but I'll leave the link to that video, and you can see all that, so you can stay up to speed with my whole muskie journey or whatever. So I got out tonight. I worked a little later today, came home, had dinner. I didn't get out till about 7 o'clock tonight. We got some rain over the weekend, so flows were a little higher. It's kind of what I wanted. I don't really want to fish for them during super low flows. I think they'll be a little bit more spookish and whatnot. So I figured this was probably a good opportunity to kind of chase after them. So I got out at 7. I fished till about 8:30. That's when it got dark. So I only got to fish for an hour and a half, which isn't a whole lot, but it's better than nothing. I got to go out and fish, and I'll never complain about that. But for some reason, the fly I hooked the last one on, I can't find. I've scoured the apartment. I've kind of tiptoed around just in case it's on the floor, and I don't really want to put that through my foot or whatever. But I can't find it. It was like a red and black and brown pattern, and that's what I had him take last time. My fly of choice this time was a similar pattern, same style, but obviously the green or chartreuse, whatever you call it, with some flash in there. Um, I want to say this is called a single hook Buford. That could be completely wrong. I don't know, but we'll find out. And basically, for those that can't see or listen to on the podcast, single hook fly, long. I want to say this is like craft fur or something like that body, with basically a dubbing brush or a brush wrapped around the head to push out the surface water. This gives a really good, when I strip it, it goes like this and the tail kicks out. It gives a really good action. But basically, I was fishing downstream from where I fished last time, and a riffle comes in, and then on the other side of the riffle is a back eddy. And I started fishing, throwing across the riffle, stripping back through. And then after that, I worked downstream, and I came back up to the top, and I was bombing casts across the riffle all the way into the eddy as far as I could. Like I said, I need to work on my casting skills. I definitely think being able to cast farther will help me in the long run, because I'll be able to cover more water with each cast. Like I said, I'm not super great at casting. It puts a lot of strain on my shoulder and on the wrist. I have a bad habit of breaking my wrist at the end of my cast, which is something I need to work on. And I get done with a few casts, stand there, shake out my arm, my wrist, just kind of sit there for a little bit. And figure eighting too puts a lot on the wrist. So definitely need to practice all that stuff and whatnot. But because of that, I didn't figure eight on every cast. Sometimes it was too shallow, and I would just dig my rod tip right into the ground. And I just fixed my reel finally, so I'm trying not to break anything, so I can continue to do it. As long as the water stays up, or maybe even if it goes down, I'm going to try to hit it every day this week, as long as I have time and whatnot. And fish of 1,000 casts, I want to grind it. I want to put in the effort. Get on one of these fish. I don't want it to take years and years. It wouldn't break my heart if it took weeks, months. I kind of look forward to it. It's a new experience to me. It's very exciting, and I look forward to continuing to do it. But one of the biggest things I noticed, when I strip my fly through, this is a pretty big fly, and I'd see the bait fish scatter when my fly would come through, and I could kind of tell how far my fly was out. And that's probably a reaction because they think this is a bigger fish that's coming to eat it, and so they jump out of the water and whatnot. So I kind of looked for that. I kind of scanned and observed a little bit more while I was shaking out my shoulder and whatnot. And so when I would see that happen in the distance or to the side of me or over here, blah blah blah, whatever, I would try and cast to that. Potentially, it could, there's smallmouth in there too, so it could just been a smallmouth spooking up some bait, but it could have been a muskie. So I would bomb cast to, about where I thought the fish would be, based on where those bait fish scattered, and kind of went that way. I don't know if that's a great way to target it or not, but rather than just casting blindly and praying, I guess, kind of put a method behind my madness. I know where I hooked the last muskie was right in front of a log jam, so there was structure there. I'm planning on hitting that either tomorrow or the next day, or whenever I get out next. Just because personally, as a trout fisherman, I enjoy fishing the structure. I have more confidence fishing the structure. To me, it just makes sense, that they'll be there. I mean, I was fishing a deep slot in a back eddy. There's normally fish there too, but you never know. Like I said, this is new to me, not something I do a whole lot. And I fished right up till dark, and at dark I kind of turned it around, and there was some reeds behind me. It was really shallow around the reeds, but I'm a fisheries biologist. When I was in college, I was fortunate enough to do some night electro fishing for muskie, and I've even done some now with the commission. And we oftentimes found muskie at night, right in the shallows along the reeds where they were, there was barely enough water to cover their back. So I threw a cast in there, stripped it out. I caught a lot of weeds, but just in case, I put in, those extra few casts just to see, something happen. I'm not out the extra 4 or 5 casts. I'll subtract that from my 1,000, and we'll keep going. But I look forward to doing it in the future. Like I said, I'm new to this. I'm always open to new ideas and whatnot, and seeing what other people have to offer, how you fish for them. So if you have any tips for me, please leave a comment below. Message me on Facebook, Instagram. If you have my cell phone number, text me, email me, whatever. I'm always open to learn. I'd be happy to share, and I'm going to share through my vlogs what I'm doing, and how I'm changing it up and whatnot, tactics and strip rates, blah blah blah, whatever. But if you have any tips, please share them below. Like I said, I'm open to advice, and I'll be sharing my future journeys through these vlogs in the future. So enjoy, guys, and we'll see you next time.